That video was different.
I've never seen a video grow like this before.
Wow, I'm gonna blow up.
This video is the unusual.
I really do have what it takes to make a career off of YouTube.
But I don't think anything can quite prepare you for it either.
Lauro, Rick, Elsa, and Aprilynne are four very different creators, but they all had a video blow up that massively increased their subscriber count too. But did they do it on purpose? Was it really the success they wanted? And what are the lessons they've learned? Join me on this call to find out. A couple months ago, you made a video titled How to Make a Killer YouTube Intro that got over 600,000 views. How did that come about? What's the backstory here?
I like to work off of sprints. So I was like, okay, I'm going to set this 90-day monetization challenge, doing whatever it takes to get my channel monetized. And I tried lots of different things during that time frame. Another kind of event that was coming up was a conference called Vid Summit, which is like a large event for creators. And I was going for the first time. And going in, I remember I was like 2 weeks away from the event. And I was thinking, man, I'm spending a lot of money to go. And I'm worried that I'm going to show up and no one's going to want to talk to me because I'm too small of a creator. At that point, I had maybe 700 some. And I was working really, really hard on my next video. And I was thinking, what would make me happy going, like, what would make me feel confident going into Vid Summit? I was like, okay, if I hit 10,000 subscribers going into Vid Summit, I would feel confident. I would feel confident like approaching people. And I was talking to another friend of mine and he said, well, I mean, that's technically possible, but your next video has to be a banger. And I said, it will. And that was the intro video that is now my most viewed video ever. And on the first day of Vid Summit, I walked in with just over 11,000 subscribers. So
wow,
it worked.
That's amazing. Where did this belief come from that this video will be an absolute banger?
That video was different from some of my previous videos and similar in a certain way for a couple of reasons. One, it was a little bit more validated in a certain way. When I say validated, what I mean is that there is some sort of evidence that this sort of thing has worked in the past. For me, I had an older video of mine called like How Mr. Beast Solved YouTube. And in the retention graph on that video, the one where I talked about intros or how Mr. Beast solved intros had the highest retention. So I thought, okay, it seems like more people are interested in particularly this part of the video. That's an opportunity here. What if I kind of take that and blow it into a full video and go into it more in depth? And then also I wanted to try a different style of video as well. There's this amazing video by a creator called John Dorman, and his title is How to Create a Killer Video to Blow Up Your Channel. There is a validated title structure here. Okay, can I take the topic that I think could do very well, that I have some sort of evidence that this topic will do well, and this title structure and perhaps like tone from a different video in the past that has done well, and merge them together. And the result was my How to Make a Killer intro video that ended up doing quite well.
And how did that feel after you hit publish and the views came in?
I mean, it felt so validating. In one hand, I was like, I was really hoping for it to happen, and then it did, and I was like, yes, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm on the right track here. I'm not completely delusional. Like, I really do have what it takes to make a career off of YouTube, and I have proof. So the views were great. The getting monetized was great. But the best part to me was going to Vid Summit, and at that conference, people walked up to me and said, hey, are you Aprilynne Alter? I saw your intro video. I loved it. And being able to have conversations with people who had watched my video and really enjoyed it or found it useful. And the broad range there, right? Everyone from someone who had just started a channel to people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
What was your biggest learning from this one video?
I had a lot of different question marks in my head before that video. And a lot of those questions were answered with that video in terms of like, who exactly is my audience? What value can I provide? What is my like differentiation here in this space? A lot of things that I was ruminating about got clarified for me. And it really just served as like the jumping off point for the rest of the channel.
How did this influence what came after that?
There can be a lot of pressure on those
Yeah.
videos, as you might imagine.
The dreaded second album.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, man, I had this one. People really loved it. What do I do for my next one? The cool thing about the intro video is that it's a repeatable format for me. So how to make a killer YouTube intro to blow up your channel or for the 2024 algorithm. Hey, how to make a killer thumbnail, how to make a killer insert video element here. And I can get very deep into those particular topics. And so I chose thumbnails because I was between titles and thumbnails. And at Vid Summit, I polled people and they said they want to hear about thumbnails. I'm like, okay, let's go with thumbnails. Unfortunately, that video took me 3 months to make. So I had a lot of pressure riding on it, but I am quite proud with the outcome.
What was the process? Can you take me through the journey of creating this video start to finish?
This was completely a filler video. I scripted it in an hour, if that, and then I just turned my camera on and recorded it, and I recorded it in 20 minutes and edited it the same day. It was just a video to get out there, and I wanted to talk about camera gear in a way that wasn't trying to sell it. I find when a video is done, when it's out there, when you can see the performance of it, it's very easy to pick apart why it's done, how it's done. It's very difficult to do that in advance. Unintentionally, my title massively tapped into people's psychology. It made them think that there was something that they weren't aware of. Like, what is it? What's the secret? That's where it takes your brain to straight away. Mm-hmm. And it was also very broad. So a lot of my videos are geared more towards sort of outdoorsy landscape type photographers. This, however, could apply to any kind of photographer, anyone with any kind of interest in cameras at all. So it was a really sort of wide market for it, I think. And yeah, just looking back on it now, it is just because of that psychological element to it, it just seems like it is insanely clickable. And I know quite a lot of photographers who have YouTube channels. These people have got 500,000 subscribers, and they're messaging me saying, I've never seen a video grow like this before.
How did this make you feel when you saw that graph, or when you realized, oh my gosh, that many people are watching this video?
I described the whole thing as being a little bit overwhelming, and I wasn't really sure what to do with it because it was just beyond any expectation I had. And suddenly you are quite aware how many people can see a video of yours. And that's slightly scary, I'd say.
Why did you say that?
I think anyone that puts videos of themselves on YouTube wants people to watch them. Anyone that says otherwise, in my opinion, isn't telling the truth, because why else would you do that? If it was just to make videos, you just wouldn't put them anywhere. You just make them and leave them. And I'm kind of on the edge of introversion and extroversion, I'd say. So I think that introverted side of me was really triggered when this happened. Just like, what have you done this for? Why have you brought all this attention to yourself? And I think that then kicked in the slight feelings of like imposter syndrome that I mentioned earlier. I'm completely self-taught. I've never been to photography school. I've never been to film school. And I think I came to this quite late. I'm 41 now. I didn't start working full-time as a photographer till I was 33. And before that, I had a completely different career. So I think that has sort of impacted my, I'd say, probably confidence and self-esteem slightly as far as my skill set goes. But all of a sudden, I'm thinking 250,000 people are wanting my opinion on something to do with photography.
Then did this experience change the videos that you made after that? Did you let this influence it in any kind of way?
It's a good question. I've tried not to. I mean, it's very tempting when you make a video like this to try and make another one similar. Despite the overwhelm and everything else, it is quite nice to see that happen and to reap the rewards from that as well. So there's the obvious boost in ad revenue from it. There's a boost in affiliate revenue from it as well. If I just go back and solely concentrate on the videos I've got in my head that maybe don't go as far as that, or won't go as far as that, then am I potentially passing that up? And I think that's just a struggle that's just going to go on inside me for some time, to be honest. It's a difficult one. But I think as long as I'm happy with what I'm putting out, and as long as I believe in it, that's the only thing that matters, I think. I wrangled for some time about, does this change the trajectory of what I create? And eventually got to the answer of no, it doesn't.
Your second video, from all I can tell that you ever uploaded, called Home Office Makeover on a Budget, Before and After. Very simple title. That one video got over 500,000 views. Is that something you set out to achieve?
This video blew up my mind because was completely unexpected. When I made the video, was a month that I was completely free. I didn't have the school yet, no lessons, no major appointments or nothing like that. So I could focus 100% of myself in renovating this room. And the result is what you said, 500,000 views. That was 100% unexpected.
When did you notice that this video is going past your expectations?
I noticed the video was starting to take over when I changed the title. Because at the beginning, the name of the video was Home Office Makeover on a Budget, period. Okay. And then I was checking the analytics and I saw that the reach was not starting at all. So after 4 hours, only 150 people. I said, okay, that is not the greatest video in the planet, but 150 people reach, that's it, no views, reach. So let me try to add something else. So I added before and after. And from that specific moment, I saw the reach skyrocketing. So going up, 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 and the views start growing. But the growth was exponential. So 2,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. And I said, whoa, what's going on in here? And the reaction was very, very happy. But above all, you know, I don't care so much about the views, but I care much more about the comments. Because reading the comments is a way to grow.
What did this experience teach you? What did you learn from this series of videos?
I'm not looking at that video to learn something. I'm not looking at this video like something that I need to replicate. I'm not looking at that video like this is the video of reference and every video has to be like this. Actually, it's the opposite. This video is the unusual. Is the black sheep somehow. Not in a bad way. It's the black sheep because this is not how I picture my journey to start. Because I was not ready to monetize my channel. I was not ready to think about business idea. I was not ready to answer so many comments. I was not ready for anything because I didn't see that coming. So my goal was reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
Okay.
And 10,000 by 2024. And only with this video, I ended up the year at 7,000 subscribers. So almost the target that I had for 2024 and the 2024. So it was weird. And to come back to your question, what have I learned? To make a video takes much more than what I was guessing. But at the same time, is even much more fun than what I was thinking. When you get emotional watching something that you did, it's priceless. It's priceless. So it's much more fun than I have ever thought about.
So let's talk about your first two videos, I think, in particular, because the first one is like, I say, an average first video anybody could make. But then your second video got over 100,000 views. How did you think about that?
As I was in the early stages of my channel, I knew that I had to really try and make my content discoverable. And so to make it discoverable, you need to create content that is easily searchable. My second video is a comparison between two Kindle products. It's a really, really short video. It's 3 minutes, which really helped for people to click on it, right? Because people, when they want to learn about the differences about two products, they don't want to watch like a 30-minute video. There's also space for that, but I was more leaning into, okay, I'm going to give you the answer right away, you know? and provide value right away.
That's really good advice for anybody starting out. At some point, you made a switch to do more day in a life kind of content, including one video titled Day in the Life of a Software Engineer. What was the story behind that?
I think in general, it's really important to lean in on your strengths and your advantages. So for example, for me, I work as a software engineer at a well-known company. Leaning into that really helps me draw some more attention into my videos. I think it's really important to recognize what is it that you have that most people don't.
How did that feel for you when you saw that curve slowly go up?
That one was like really, really, really crazy. Like that to me, it really blew my mind. Like getting 500,000 views to me was like, wow, okay, I've gone viral. Like that to me was like, that felt viral. Like I was checking the statistics all the time. Like I was on my YouTube studio all the time, getting comments and like replying to everyone. But then I posted another video, and that video like didn't get nearly as many views. And I was like, wow, I screwed up. I was like, oh no, like I'm not gonna be able to replicate this again.
But how did you deal with this when you uploaded videos after that and just like they only have a couple thousand views, right?
I think I look at it very analytically, and that really helps you kind of like not take it personally, right? Because it can be really easy for people that, especially people that make vlogs, to think, oh, well, if people are not liking these videos because my life is not interesting enough. But actually, maybe if you look at the video itself analytically, you can tell, oh, wait, maybe the intro wasn't quite as tight as it should have been. Or maybe I should have discussed this topic in another way, in another more interesting way, or the storyline, or things like that. There's always things that you can improve to make it interesting, because you could talk about like the most boring topic, but if it's a good video and it's well done, people will watch it. You have to try and be more objective about it. So that's what I try to do.
Okay, so in this context, I have one more question for you. As an engineer, you know, one very common question for people who are just starting out or who haven't started is like, can you still make it on YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a ton of space, honestly. Like, yes. There's tons of space. And also, like, right now, like, there's so many people retiring from YouTube. Like, so there's even more space, right? Like, I don't think it's too late. Like, quite the opposite. I think it's a good point to start, actually.
And what do you think? For me, there were 3 key takeaways here. First of all, sometimes small changes can have a really big impact. Second, it's not always the ideas you put a lot of time and energy in that connect with a large audience, but the ideas you don't really believe in that truly resonate with people. And lastly, it's okay to take validated ideas and emulate them yourself, as long as you truly make it your own. And if you want more of this, all conversations are available as full audio podcasts, and in the Orbit newsletter, you get even more inspiring insights from all kinds of creators. But now it's time to create.